Hello friends, it's Caroline for the Love of Crochet, and I am so glad you're here because it is Granny Square Day. It is my favorite. I haven't since I started my YouTube. This is the day that I've been looking forward to. I have a few projects to share with you, and my question to you is, are you too hip to be square, or are you too square to be hip? And which is it for you? All right, so I'm gonna start off with my project that I had planned. And if you watched my previous episodes, you knew I was hinting toward it, like I was trying to find the right yarn for it. Well, let's get started. The first thing I was gonna do was make pockets for my jeans here. But I did not quite get there. So anticipating up to Granny Square Day, I didn't get to that, but I did make this square, but I only made one. And today's the day, folks, so we're just gonna roll with it. Here is my project. Dun da da dun! I made Granny Square shoes. I already wore them. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, so here is a clip of me wearing my shoes and posing and taking pictures for the thumbnail. But I have so wanted to do this. Now, I bought these shoes at Hobby Lobby for the bargain price of $6.99. And they're just a white canvas shoe. I did buy half a size larger than I needed because I wanted more room. I wanted to make sure they weren't tight because these are a shoe that I'm going to wear because they go with everything. Now, the yarn that I used was a new yarn at Hobby Lobby as well. And it was in the strings. And it was called Lion Brand Mandala String, and the colorway was called Beats. But look at the colors on here. Do you see any of my signature color, which is the turquoise duck egg blue type color, as you can tell? No, it is not in there. But guess what, folks? It was in there, and lots of it. There's a darker shade. It had like a little ombre effect, a little transition. So there was a lighter one and then there was a darker one. So I basically cut up all the yarn into the separate colors. I'm using my bag that Cassandra from Craftably Ever After made for me. I just put them all in these little separate balls. Now here you see a bunch of little half triangles and little squares because I was trying to figure out how I wanted this design to go. Here's another bigger square. I was trying to figure out how I wanted this design to go. I really wanted to fill it with just granny squares, but the fact that the shaping on this wasn't very square-like, I could only fit a square in the front and a square in the back here. But instead, and I also hot glued these on, so I have a little bit of glue there. And I'm gonna have to just do some more little, maybe I'll stitch it. So there you go. And then over here on the inside is where I was running out of room for them to fit nicely. Over here, I spread them out just a little too much. So, I didn't pin them. I just kind of like placed them to see where I wanted them. So I tried to do better on the second shoe, but you can see there's a gap here, but no gap here. Well, not as much. So yeah, there are my shoes. I really like them. I'm super happy with them. So that is the yarn I used. I used hot glue to put them on. And you can probably tell that these are not really the correct way to make a triangle. And it was after I was all done that I figured out, wait a minute, that's not how that goes. And then I tried one, and this is the way it was supposed to go. So yeah, I learned a lot on this project, and it took me weeks to do because I had to find the right yarn. Had to be thin enough. I tried to use the cotton threads, but they were just not thick enough, you know? It's just so thin. And I did another one here. So these were all my trials, but it was too stringy. So I decided to go with this thin weight yarn, which is it says it's a super fine one, but I really don't think so. It doesn't seem like it to me. It's 100% acrylic and 150 yards. No, sorry, 350 yards. So not bad yardage. I have a lot left. So this was my other plan, my second project. So I was going to have my jeans done, my shoes done. What else do you think? A hat. So yes, this is my second project. I did it in a triangle. That counts as a granny square, right? So yes, this is the hat. I really like it, and I actually got this one at Hobby Lobby too. And this one has the ponytail so that you can have your messy bun in case you want to put your hair up. So yeah, I use this to walk my dog, and I just figured, well, if I'm gonna walk my dogs in style, are you too hip to be square or too square to be hip? I don't know. I'm gonna have to go out with my hubs on a date like this and see how he reacts. See if he's not embarrassed to be with me. Yeah. It's too hot though to wear it. Okay. Now, which brings me to my other two projects. These are projects that I have done before. And this is my granny square bag. I had a bunch of this yarn that was clearanced, and I had no idea what to do with. They were in a bunch of little balls. They used to sell it at Michael's, I believe, and they clearanced them all out. So I made this granny square bag, and it has a side panel, but if I were to do this differently, and this is holding a granny square project as well. Let's just set that aside. If I were to do this again, I would like to join on the outside because it gives it this definition of the box. So I seamed them on the inside, therefore they are more, all that definition is on the inside, and you can't really tell that, you know, there's no join. And then I attached it right here, but then I went further down here, and it's very messy but very strong. So this is my granny square bag. I love it. It goes with jeans, goes with lots of things, and I didn't go for any colors, just random. And then one that I get the most amount of compliments on, and it's perfect for those just beginning to get windy, cooler weather, and it is my light poncho that's in my profile picture. You can see me doing something like this in my profile picture. So this is in my profile picture. It's my Sunburst Granny Square and Karen Simply Soft, and I believe it's called Landscapes, that one that's really colorful. So I mixed these two together, and yeah, this is perfect for just a little hide your arms in, getting a little brisky, maybe in a night walk. Very nice poncho because your hands are free, you know, you're not feeling bulky, but you feel covered because it goes down pretty far. Well, not too far. So this is one of my favorite granny square projects. And I get so many compliments on this when I wear this, and they want one. And now I want to share with you one of my very first granny squares. And now this is when there was no Dollar Tree yarn. Maybe there was, but nothing that I wanted to make with it. This was back in my like 20s, which was ages ago. And I messed up a bit and I didn't care. And this is my first granny square project. And it is very twisted and turned because I forgot corners. But I was like, I'm not going to go back. I'm not undoing that. And so, yeah, this is my very first back in my 20s. And wouldn't you know it, my signature color is in there. This blue. I guess it's ingrained. That must be my favorite color, but I don't claim it as my color. I don't. I can't pick a color, but that manages to get everywhere. So that is my first granny square project. And that brings up a very important thing I want to share with you. For those of you, us crocheters, we make lots of things, right? We really should be putting our signature, our love on there, the date. In fact, Yarn and Pajamas, Rebecca, just recently posted in her latest video that she put out like her label, her signature, because she made a blanket that she was very proud of this year, something that she stuck with for like 6 months. And so she wanted to signify that with the dates in her name and what it was for. And so she just did that. And I have been wanting to do that. And so I have this blanket, right? It's so old, but I wish I had some of those details on it. And why I made it or what year I made it. And Ophelia Talks is another someone who her mother and her grandmother made projects, but they labeled their projects, and Ophelia went through them, and on almost all of them there was a label of her name, who it was for, and the year that she gave it to them. And I think that's so important to put on our projects, especially blankets, because sometimes people ask me, oh, when did you make that? I don't know. Or how about when you're gone? That is your legacy that you left behind. In fact, KS Mom has a very memorable, like an heirloom from her mother that she is so thankful for, and it had a label on it, and that was so important. And I can see why it's so important. It's a piece of them stitched in this piece, this project, this labor of love. So I encourage you that if you are making blankets, especially if you're giving them to people that you care about, label your projects with love from Mom. It doesn't even have to be pretty. It does not have to be pretty. No one cares. The people who you are giving it to, it does not matter. In fact, the more messy it is, the more humorous and loving it is. And so I just want to share that with you, because I also have a few blankets that my mother has made, but she didn't label them. This is one of them. This is a blanket she made for my youngest son, who's now 22 now, going on 23. And it's still here, right? Look at that. But she didn't label it. I don't know what stitch it is, what year. I know the year because she gave it to him when he was born, but it'd be so cool to have her little label on here with her name stitched in it, or love Mom to Vin. That's my son's name, Vincent. Yeah, I just want to encourage you to do that. You can do it. Just get an old pair of jeans, stitch your thing on it, or you can get a piece of felt and a piece of cotton, something that you want to last. That's why I say jeans or cotton. It could be some old clothing that you have. So definitely think about that, because it is truly special to have something labeled. I'm also going to include a picture of this because you can totally see my mistakes. When it's all laid out, in fact, it would be cool to make it even more wonkus because it'll trip out your eyes. Anyway, so thank you for watching. I'm so glad you are here. I'm so excited about Granny Square Day. I didn't get to do everything I wanted to. I did make a few squares for my daughter's blanket that I'm excited about, but I'll show that in another podcast. Also, before I go, we are doing a fall collab. Cassandra at Craftably Ever After, Julie at KS Mom Crochets have done the All for Fall crochet collab. Well, this year we're doing it again, and we've invited a couple of new crochet friends, Marsha at Mimi Makes Keepsakes and Bonnie at Strawberry Bonnie Crochet. So I'm really excited to include more people in our collab party fall because I'm so ready for fall weather. And the idea is fall in love. So the hashtag is fall in love. And it is going to be something about doing something new. So we get stuck in our, oh, I don't want to, oh, that's too hard. Oh, I've never tried that yarn. So this is to help encourage us to dip into something new, and maybe we just might fall in love with something new. So that is going to be an upcoming collab coming up in the beginning of September, and I'll give you more details in the next podcast. So if you want to see more, check up here because I have plenty to show you. Talk to you soon. Bye.